that. He was talking about how karma, the lust, as being our enemy in this world. So now, Krishna in this chapter, the very beginning, gives the history of Bhagavad Gita. So we may have the question, when was this Gita spoken? Of course, Gita was spoken 5,000 years back, as it is part of the Mahabharata. Mahabharata happened, the Battle of Mahabharata, about 5,000 years ago, at the conjunction of the present age, Kali Yuga, and the previous age, Dwapara Yuga. So that was when Bhagavad Gita was spoken by the Lord to Arjuna. So now the Lord is talking about the previous speaking of Bhagavad Gita, before this. Because Bhagavad Gita is a standard book of knowledge coming down from age immemorial, time immemorial. So the Lord says the previous history, just prior to he spoke the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, when he spoke the Bhagavad Gita. So let us hear these verses. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Tishtharine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So chapter 4, Gnana Yoga, Yoga of Knowledge. So Bhagavad Gita as it is, we also understand the importance of Bhagavad Gita as received in a Guru Shishya Parampara without any change. First of all, the first verse, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Ahamapyam Vivaswan Manave Praha Manur Ikshvatave Abbravid. The blessed Lord said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. So we see here on the right side how the Gita is coming down from Krishna to Vivaswan, from Vivaswan to Manu, Manu to Ikshvaku. So Vivaswan is the sun god, the Suryadev, the personality who is in charge of the lighting of the universe. Surya, without Surya we cannot live. So there is the deity, there is the Devata there. So Krishna spoke this Bhagavad Gita to Suryadev. And then Suryadev further spoke it to his son, Manu, the Swayambhuva Manu. There are 14 Manus who come, but the 7th Manu is the son of Suryadev. And Manu spoke to his son, Ikshvaku. So then what happened after that? Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashtaha parantapa. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. Yes, as we saw, from Krishna to Vivaswan, from Vivaswan to Manu, Manu to Ikshvaku, and Ikshvaku further on to his disciples, to his son. So this was all previously Rajarshayo Viduhu. They were all Rajarshis, saintly kings who administered the kingdom, but in quality, in essence, were all great saints. So they got this knowledge and they propagated this knowledge. Then what happened after that? So Krishna says, the third verse, Saevayam Mayate Adya Yoga Prokta Puratnaha Bhaktosi me Sakha Cheti Rasini Etuduttamam. The same old knowledge, same old imperishable science of yoga. I am re-speaking to you, Arjuna, now, because the original meaning, the original message seems to be lost. So why I am speaking to you? Because Bhakto Sime Sakha Cheti Rasini Etuduttamam. You are my devotee, you are my friend. You can understand this Gita Rahasya, this mystery about this Bhagavad Gita. Okay, anyway, that was the third verse. So anyone wants to say what we can understand by these first 3 verses? Any devotees? They have something to add? Jaya Nair Mataji, I don't know why you have raised your hand. You can unmute yourself. Vijay Kamath, one window is open which is blocking the presentation. Okay, a black rectangle is shown on the screen. Okay. Yes, one of you can unmute. Still, it is there in on the screen. We are not able to see the screen. Devotees, please.
Yes, it is there in the screen.
The screen is there. Okay, I'll stop share and I'll try to share it again. Okay. Okay. I think now we will be able to see. Is that okay?
Yes, that is okay.
Is that okay? Yes, please. Thank you. Yes, we read the first verse, and to the right
Thank you, Guruji.
Yes, Mataji, thank you. So to the right we could see from Lord Krishna the Gita being received by Vivaswan. So we can see the picture, Gita coming down. And then the Gita was explained by Vivaswan to his son Manu. And now Manu is explained to Ishwaku. So the Lord said, similarly, one after another, ages passed, it came down like this. So, but by the time of the influence of time, everything gets diluted, everything gets lost, destroyed. So Krishna said, even this message of Bhagavad Gita was destroyed. So anybody wants to explain what is this? What is the meaning of this? What Krishna is trying to say in this verses? Yes, there is Chandrasekhar Prabhuji who was. You can ask Prabhuji. You can unmute.
Pranam Prabhuji.
Pranam Prabhu. Pranam.
Actually, the meaning of this sloka, as far as my understanding goes, it is about the Guru Shishya tradition and the disciple tradition, which comes from very long and ancient heritage of Sanatana Dharma.
Yes.
The second one, as per the second and third verse goes, it is not only a succession of knowledge, but it is about the passing of knowledge, and that knowledge has been lost in the meantime.
Yes.
And the third one is that this knowledge is not simply the knowledge as per se, but it is science, which probably second or third sloka says what I read in the morning, the chapter what sent to the group. So the three things I believe: it is a succession of knowledge, it is very ancient, and third one is it is lost in between while passing.
Yes.
And it is very ancient.
Very ancient. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for your understanding. Furthermore, any devotees want to add up to what Prabhuji said? Yes. So we'll continue otherwise. Okay. So Krishna is speaking, as Prabhuji said, to be received in a Guru Shishya Parampara, the whole knowledge of Gita. And historically, if you can calculate the time, there is a calculation given here. What might be the probable time when this event happened? Krishna speaking the Bhagavad Gita to Suryadev speaking to his son Manu. There is a time calculated as given in the scriptures, in Mahabharata, in other Vedic literatures. So that calculation we'll just briefly go through. And the important thing, it's a very ancient science, as Chandrasekhar Prabhu was telling. It's a very ancient science. It's a standard knowledge. It is not something which we have to invent, which we have to research. So this is the present day tendency to find the knowledge, to get new things. But the standard knowledge remains the same. There is no need for us to, we need maybe for so much science, kind of a technology that we are involved in today. But otherwise, the knowledge, the spiritual knowledge, what Krishna is speaking here, the knowledge of the relationship of Atma with the Paramatma, the real goal of life, that remains standard for all the time, all the places, all people. So wherever there is a discrepancy in the standard understanding, the Lord wants to re-establish that understanding. So that is why he tells to Arjuna, I am re-speaking the whole thing. So what we also can understand is the verses, there will be no change. But what the people are understanding it, that is what changes. So we say something, many times people misunderstand. It happens, miscommunication happens. We think why this person is behaving like this. He misunderstood what I had to say, what I had to communicate. It happens commonly. So as it goes on, any standard thing from one person to another, things change. And particularly this, the influence of time, this has changed. That is one thing we can understand. And otherwise, this principle of disciplic succession, Guruship Parampara, protects this standard understanding. That is what Krishna is wanting us to understand and realize the importance of Guruship Parampara. From a long, very long time, the standard understanding was protected and was coming down through great spans of time. It's not a small 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years. From Suryadev to Manu to Ikshvaku, then further on, for many, many thousands and lakhs of years, the standard understanding was there. It was protected by this Guruship Parampara. So basically the disciplic succession or Guruship Parampara means the disciplic conclusions. The conclusions are maintained. The conclusions are kept protected. There is no change. So, but when Krishna appeared 5,000 years back, he could detect that what I spoke to Suryadev and what people are now understanding as Bhagavad Gita, there is a lot of a change. Hell and heaven, a lot of change. So he could see a lot of wide gap of understanding. So he took it an opportunity to re-speak the Bhagavad Gita, what it is actually, what the standard knowledge it is. So what was spoken to, ages ago to Surya Vivaswan was again spoken to Arjuna. And what was spoken to Vivaswan was also always there. So that we are not, we do not know, because Krishna is not spoken about that in this verse or any verse of the Gita or in the Vedas. But it was there even before Vivaswan, because the Lord is always there. The Bhagavad Gita, his spoken word, is also always there. But the previous edition, the previous historical event, Krishna is explaining here to make us understand the importance of the knowledge received through a Guru Shishya Parampara. It is not very uncommon, even in our present life, when somebody becomes an engineer, somebody becomes a particularly a doctor or a lawyer. We see always that immediately as they are studying, as they are graduating, as they want to practice, they first of all do some kind of apprenticeship, some kind of a training, some kind of a under a senior qualified lawyer, doctor. We have this naturally. So then only we become a practitioner of that particular science. Similarly, this is much more important for a spiritual knowledge, wherein we are trying to understand how we are not this body, how there is a Lord, how is a person, how is controlling the whole cosmos. So definitely we need a guru, definitely we need a teacher. So that is what Krishna is telling, the Guru Shishya Parampara. So just like even in our present day, we have our teachers who are authorized by their previous teachers, who are authorized by their previous teachers. So it goes on, generation before generation, generation before generation after generation. A similar way Krishna is explaining the Guru Shishya Parampara, the standard Guru Shishya Parampara. So in the Vedic scriptures, there is mention of 4 standard Guru Shishya Paramparas. So anybody can mention that, they know. There are 4 disciplic successions, Guru Shishya Paramparas, which are listed in the scriptures as being bona fide recognized sampradayas. Any devotees, if they know, they can raise their hand. Okay. The next slide shows that. We can see here. Yes. So we are seeing here the 4 Guru Shishya Paramparas, disciplic successions, originally stemming from Lord Krishna, and then being spoken to Brahma, which is called Brahma Parampara or Brahma Sampradaya. Then there is through Lakshmi Ji, that is Shri Sampradaya. Then through Lord Shiva, that is called Rudra Sampradaya. And then there is the Kumara Sampradaya. So after Brahma to his son is Narada. Then Narada to Narada has so many disciples. One of them is Vedavyasa. So presently, the disciplic succession which we can see in the earthly planet or in front of us is the parampara of Lord Brahma coming through Vedavyasa and Madhvacharya. That is why here it is shown Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya is a predominant acharya, a founder acharya in this Brahma Sampradaya. Even now, the Guru Shishya Parampara from the Madhvacharya succession is continued. Similarly, there is the Lakshmi Devi Parampara, which is continuing through the Alvars, the Ramanujacharya, and their Guru Shishya Parampara is there. Similarly, there is the Rudra Sampradaya from Lord Shiva to Vishnu Swami, that is also there presently. And then the 4 Kumaras, the sons of Brahma, via them is coming one great Acharya by name Nimbarka Acharya. So these are 4 standard Guru Shishya Parampara disciplic successions listed in the Vedic scriptures. So we have to check up whether where we are receiving spiritual knowledge, the teachers are getting trained or are getting authorized in this any of these 4 Guru Shishya Paramparas. Just like when you want to get yourself treated, any doctor, anybody, you just check up. Oh, where is this person has got his certification? Which college, which university, which medical body, or whatever. It is not that just you go to any walk into any place and somebody says I have and so this one that no, you want to check up whether the certification is there. One is the certification with the previous practice, then by his own effulgence, means his own practical result. So many patients will say, oh yes, I went to this doctor, his treatment worked for me. So by his own work, by his one result, how Palena Parichayate. So one, we have to check up the authorization, another whether particular work the person does in any field. A similar way, a Guruship Parampara, whether they are authorized with the previous Guruship Parampara. No, somebody says, no, I went to Himalayas, I was there, I don't know what, they will say I was there for 20 years, 30 years, I don't know where they were 20 years, 30 years. Or I went into some jungles, now I am self-realized, now I have come to bless you. No, we are not going to take spiritual knowledge so cheaply from unauthorized persons. There is a way of authorization, a way of receiving knowledge. Broadly, the way of receiving knowledge is called ascending knowledge, descending knowledge. If time permits, we'll see a presentation. Actually, our previous presentation was also pending, the consciousness. We only did half. Let us see how we can go about. But otherwise, how to receive knowledge? There is a ascending process, there is a descending process. Ascending experimental way of receiving knowledge, descending by the standard authorities receiving knowledge. So there are 2 ways, and which is better, and how we have to receive standard knowledge. So we can see that presentation. There is a nice presentation. Let us see. So this our institution is called, started by our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, is coming in this branch of Brahma Sampradaya. What we are seeing in Brahma Madhva Sampradaya, Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vedavyasa disciple Madhvacharya. In that comes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the same Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Parampara, Srila Prabhupada is coming. So that's how he is writing the Bhagavad Gita as it is. What the previous Acharyas have understood, have explained, have practiced. So he has nothing to say anything new. The Acharyas don't manufacture ideas, they don't manufacture anything. They give us as the original knowledge is, they give us by their own personal example, they show how to follow this. That's an Acharya. So this is what we learn in this history, through this history. And thank you, Chandrasekhar Prabhu, for your understanding. So, but still, Arjuna, taking our viewpoint, he asks Krishna, how can I believe this Krishna? Actually, Arjuna knows everything, but still he says, you are my contemporary. We are both friends. You just took birth now. When you are talking about Surya, and Surya Dev is, I know by the Vedic calculation, I can understand that he has been there for a very long time. How you could speak to him? Because generally this knowledge is spoken to a personality in there, just like we have the age for learning, the students, the schools, colleges, that's the age of learning. So when you would have explained this knowledge to Surya Dev, when Surya Dev was a youngster, was a youth, so what must be his age and when you would have spoken? How it is possible for you to speak this? And now you're not senior to Surya Dev. Surya Dev is much senior to you, much elder to you. You are just born now with me, looks like that. That's how I can understand. That is the Arjuna's a kind of an objection. So Krishna will explain that. So here the calculation is given, understanding the Vedic time. So Vedic time is from very small nanosecond, whatever you can say, micro nanosecond. Today we are having all these measurements. This is all borrowed from the Vedic understanding mostly. From a very previous time, very long time, this calculation is there of time from a very large duration to a very small duration. From a duration of time called Kalpa, which is a day of Brahma. From that time, we have to much smaller, very small unit of time. So this is a calculation given, understanding the day of Brahma. The time is relative, and one day of Brahma is equal to 8.6 billion of Earth years. So there is a calculation for that, how we get this 8.6 billion of years in Earth. Because there is a rotation of time called yugas. Every yuga, The smallest yuga is the Kali Yuga, which is about 4 lakh years. You can see the down bottom, the Kali Yuga. Double of that is Dwapar Yuga. Triple is Treta. Satya is 4 times. So these 4 ages combined together is what is called as one Ditya Yuga or Maha Yuga or just Yuga itself. That comes to roughly 4.3 million years. So this over 1,000 times becomes the daytime of Brahma. 1,000 into 4 million, that becomes 4 billion. So that's how, that is the daytime, 12 hours. An equal time in the night, that becomes another 4.3 billion years. So totally one day of Brahma is equal to 8.6 billion years. So this is the understanding we get from the Vedic scriptures. There is no way we can validate presently how it is so that Brahma is one day is 8.6 years. And Brahma lives for, of his own time, 100 years. And his one day is 8.6 of our earth years. So you can see what is a fantastic lifespan of Brahma. So in the day of Brahma, there are various changes that keep happening. And there are 14 personalities who come one after another called the Manus. And each period is called Manvantara. And we are in a period of time presently called 7th Manvantara, which is called Vaivasvata Manvantara of this particular day of Brahma. Roughly a midday of Brahma we are in. So, and this Manu who received this knowledge from his father Suryadev. So there is a calculation going by that. So this is a calculation of the life of Brahma. Because our Brahma is now supposed to have passed 50 years of his life, half of his life he has passed, and he's in his 51st year, and the first day, that's how the Vedic knowledge reveals to us the age of Brahma, the life of Brahma. Okay, maybe at the end of the class we can again revert to this film. The life of Manu. So there are the personality, the age is very relative. We have in our front the understanding. We see some insects being born in the night, and few hours, but they are flying, they are doing this, they are having their children, they are having their family, they are having their so many duties, and they are dead. By morning, we see them, heaps of them are dead. So life is very, very relative. What an insect lives, what we live, and what the devatas live, and what Brahma, the topmost devata in this Brahmanda. So time is very relative. So this calculation goes on to explain. If we calculate, it comes to our understanding that Gita was roughly spoken to Vivaswan, the Suryadev, 120 million years ago. That's about 12 crore years. So how to believe this? Presently, the science seems to tell us, the archaeologist seems to tell us that it was some there was no Homo sapiens, there was no human beings. They appeared around 40,000 years ago by the process called evolution. So this kind of understanding is what is predominant in the society. No, our Vedic understanding is entirely different. We have something called devolution. Devolution means from a higher life form to a lower life form. Because all this creation is done by Brahma, who is supposed to be the most intelligent person in this universe. So from him, he is the one who is designing our human body, the Devata's body, whoever. From an intelligent person, the lesser intelligent forms are created. Not that less intelligent persons, less intelligent forms evolve to be more intelligent. So we don't find that. It is there is a lot of arguments, discussion. Oh, it is factually wrong. This evolution, this concept of evolution. We evolve as a spirit soul from lower life forms. I had a body previously as an insect, as a bird, as an animal. Now I've got the body of a human being. So spiritually, there is a change of body from lower life form to higher life. But forms do not change as per se like that. Suppose I say there was a Maruti 800, and now over a period of time, now we have Maruti Ertiga, a new version. Maruti 1000, then this Swift, Desire, that, this, and now it has become, if it evolved. No, the same company is manufacturing even now the same that old model. It can manufacture. It has a technology to manufacture. The same company manufactures now the latest model. So it is nothing like one car has become another car or something like that. The body is just like a car. It's a vehicle. It doesn't change. So anyway, so this understanding Krishna is giving about the Gita, very old knowledge. It's not a new thing. References are given in the Mahabharata and all about the time being quoted. Yes. So the Lord explains to Arjuna now. Yes, Arjuna, you're right. How I spoke this Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna to Suryadev before. You were also present there those times. It was not that you were not existing, because as spirit soul, we are always there. There is no time we are not there. And Arjuna, being a constant friend of Krishna, always is an associate, just like a king or a president. His own entourage always accompanies them wherever they are. So Arjuna is also one of that kind of a confidential personality, confidential devotee of the Lord, who always is there wherever the Lord is there. So Krishna says, I was also there when you were also there when I spoke the Bhagavad Gita to Suryadev. And after that, many lives we have passed, many births I and you have taken. I remember everything, all of them. You don't remember. So Krishna says very something interesting. The difference between himself, Krishna, the Supreme Lord, and ourself, or all the living entities, the Supreme Ishvara, the Supreme Personality, Bhagavan, and all of us, the Jivas. So Krishna says, he as Supreme Bhagavan, he remembers everything. And we forget. We forget yesterday what I did, I don't remember. What I spoke, I don't remember. So that is our limitedness. But the Supreme Lord is beyond this. Why is beyond this? So Krishna explains, his body is transcendental. His body does not change. We keep changing our forms, right? In this lifetime, I keep changing my body every moment, every second. And if I see my photo 20, 30, 40 years back, it's completely different. And even scientifically, it is completely the atoms, molecules, everything has changed. But this does not happen to the Lord. It looks like as if Krishna is also born, baby Krishna, then he's growing as a Gopala, then he's growing and coming and doing as a king. But interestingly, Krishna's after one kind of a youthful body, he doesn't change to old body, the coughing body, the wrinkles in the skin. We don't find Krishna's painting anytime like that. Even in the Mahabharata war field, when Krishna was supposed to be around 80 years because this war happened at a later part of their life, the Pandavas and Kauravas, Krishna was always looking youthful. So Krishna's body is not ordinary material body like our body, composed of his flesh, muscles, bones, nerves, veins, blood, mucus, pus. It is not the body of Krishna. Krishna's body is spiritual. That's what Krishna is telling. Because I appear in my original spiritual body. Ajopi san abhyatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swamadishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. So Krishna gives the hint, gives the understanding of his transcendental form. Krishna's body is not material. Just like here, you see here to the right, what is this? Anybody can explain what is happening here in this photo? Any devotees can explain? Anybody can volunteer? We see here two people, husband and wife. Then here we find the forearm from the Lord. Then the two Krishna is there. So what is this? What is this pastor? What is this event here? Yes, Kusumalata. Okay, Kusumalata Mataji, you can explain. Yeah, you can explain.
When Krishna appeared,
yes.
First he came to the heart of Vasudev, then yes, to the heart of Devaki, then he appeared in four-handed form of Narayana, and later he changed to baby Krishna.
Yes. So you think how it happened as the Bhagavatam has explained. So thanks, Mataji. So the appearance of Krishna is not ordinary. What we are seeing when he was born, he first of all appeared as this four-handed Narayana in his full blown form. As we know, the Lord as Narayana is having four hands with four Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Because in a previous life, when Vasudeva and Devaki had prayed for the Lord, he had promised them that I will appear as your son 3 times. That was a very old history when the same personalities, Vasudeva and Devaki, were Prajapatis by name, Sutapa and Prishni. So then they had undertaken severe tapasya. And when the Lord appeared, they did not ask for liberation, moksha. They instead said, we want a child like you. So who can be childlike to the Lord? So the Lord said, I will become your child. So that was the long time back as Prishni. First of all, Krishna took birth, Prishni Garbha. Then he came as Vamana Deva. Then the same Vasudeva and Devaki, when the third birth, they were born as Vasudeva and Devaki, the Lord appeared as Krishna. So he wanted to tell them, I have kept my promise. I told you, I promised you. Now, yes, come. So then that is where now we are finding Vasudeva and Devaki are offering prayers to Lord Krishna. They know our Supreme Lord has come as Narayana, and they're offering prayers. And then after their prayers, accepting their prayers, the Lord changes his form to Krishna. That's when he orders, and then he ordered Vasudeva, take me to Vrindavan. So we all know that story, we all heard. So Krishna's appearance is like this. Krishna is not appearing like us from the mother's womb, crying and born naked. No, Krishna is already having his divine form, all the ornaments, all the divine weapons as Narayana. So the Krishna's it is appearance is not ordinary. These activities are not ordinary. That is what is being shown here. Is body spiritual. So we have to understand, just like Atma, we are spiritual. We have nothing to do with this matter. The Lord Himself, His whole existence, His body is spiritual. Presently, we are also spiritual. We are also spirit soul. But our spiritual body is covered up by this material body, and material body is through which we are acting, we are identifying ourselves with. But Krishna, it doesn't happen anytime. Krishna's body is always spiritual, and it doesn't change. There is no influence of matter, no influence of the gunas. That is how the Lord's appearance is divine. So why the Lord appears? What is the purpose of his appearance? Some people say, oh, the Lord, there is no avatar. Avatar means the Lord's advent from the spiritual existence to material existence, spiritual world to material world. So Bhagavad Gita, we get an understanding further on. There are two worlds, spiritual world, material. We are all part of the material world, material universes. We have so millions of planets. There are beyond this, the spiritual existence of the Lord, spiritual abode of the Lord. So we have this information. And incarnation, avatar, is from that part of the Lord's existence to this. So Krishna is giving why he comes. So we cannot say why he should not come. Who are we to say that? So the Lord wants to come, he can come. We cannot stop him. He is the supreme autocrat. So he's telling, now Krishna explains to us when he comes, why he comes, what he does when he comes. So Krishna says here, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So Krishna is saying, when he appears, whenever there is discrepancy in dharma. So what is this dharma? What is religion? Dharma is generally understood as religion. In English, it is called religion. But actually, Sanskrit, this is not the actual. Because religion, when you find in the dictionary, it is told to be a kind of faith. Faith. I believe in Hindu religion. I believe in Hindu faith. You have faith in Islam. You have faith in another. So we have this kind of religion, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, which we think to be a kind of faith, which we kind of a belief system. No, dharma is not that. The original word meaning of word dharma is something like if you have a water has its dharma of liquidity, of its particular kind of taste. Everything has a particular dharma. Sugar has its dharma, sweetness. Salt has its dharma. Chili has its dharma of its particular nature. The taste, the sweetness, or the salty nature, or very hot nature. So different objects have different properties. Similarly, as jivas, as living entities, we have our occupational duty. So it is called, this dharma is called as occupational duty. What is our activity? Our activity is to render service to another living entity. Parents serve children, children serve parents, friends serve other friends. This mode of service goes on. So by this mode of service, or if nobody is there, we keep a cat, we keep a dog, we serve them. Or they have our own senses, our kama, krodha, lobha, moha, which are demanding gratification. So we are servants by nature. And by this service, we are enjoying. So originally, the Sanatana Dharma, the real Dharma, is our service attitude towards the Lord, the Bhakti. That is our Dharma. So Krishna comes to establish when there is a discrepancy in this Dharma. Not that Krishna is coming to establish Hindu Dharma or the Christian Dharma or something. It's all rubber stamp. So real Dharma is our duty to the Supreme Lord, our devotion to the Supreme Lord. Krishna comes to establish that. He comes in his original transcendental body. And at the same time, when he comes, he destroys the miscreants, he protects the devotees. More so he protects, he comes to protect the devotees. Destruction, there are his agents, the powerful devatas. One superstorm is enough, one tsunami is enough, or demons can be killed. Or one. So we see nature has its own ways. We had a corona, so many things, so many ways. Things can come in, so whichever way, most unpredictable way, and cause havoc, cause great destruction. So Krishna doesn't have to come for destroying things. His agents are there. His meteorology is very powerful. Durga, she's very, very powerful. Lord Shiva, they're very, very powerful. They are sufficient to do. But more importantly, Krishna comes for Paritranaya Sadhuna, just like we saw. He comes for Mother Yashoda. The Lord, they want the Lord's appearance. They cannot live without the Lord. Mother Yashoda, Vasudeva, Devaki, because for them the Lord comes. More than coming to kill Kamsa, more than coming to destroy the demonic people. Krishna comes for his devotees. Yes. So after that, Krishna gives us why we need to understand this about Krishna, Krishna's appearance, Krishna's activities, what is the benefit that we derive. So in fact, Krishna's appearance is also explained with the understanding of the sun, with the analogy of the sun. So we see every day the sun rising in the morning and then the sun setting. So we say, okay, but the sun doesn't actually rise like that or set like that. It is always there. It is only for our vision, it appears as if the sun is rising, and it appears as if sun has now set. Previously, people used to say, some kind of primitive people, oh, the sun is born in the morning and the sun has died in the night. And now next day, another new sun will come. So they used to say like that, some kind of primitive people we hear. So anyway, neither sun dies, neither in the night, neither sun takes birth in the morning. It's always there. So for our vision, it appears as if sun is not there. Sun is always there. We go west, we keep seeing the sun is always there. We see 12 it's 12 o'clock here now. After some time, it's again 12 o'clock as we move on the west. It is there. The time 12 o'clock, the sun in the middle of the horizon is always there. It's only because we are limited, for us it is out of sight. Similarly, something like that, Krishna, as being the Supreme Lord, is always there. Is always there. It's only that he appears before our vision for some time. Krishna is there as Paramatma, in Paramatma manifested in every atom. That is another thing. But otherwise, in his Bhagavan feature, his appearance continuously happens in this material worlds, in one universe after another. It is going on. Krishna's Leelas are called Nitya Leela. His Leela of this Damodara Leela or Janma Leela. It is continuously happening in one of the universes. It's only that that form of the Lord appears before us in a particular universe we are in, and appears, and then it appears as if that form is not there in front of us. But that form continues its Leela in some other universe. That is understanding. It's a very deep understanding. So understanding of Krishna's Janma, Krishna's body as spiritual, nothing to do with matter, nothing to do with being having problems of disease, problems of getting old, so many hunger, thirst. Krishna acts like that for the pleasure of his devotees, as if he is hungry for milk and Mother Yashoda has to give him a dog. But otherwise, Krishna's personality is transcendent, spiritual, completely spiritual. Krishna's everything is. So Krishna says here, if one can understand this transcendental nature of his form, of his body, of his activities, then that is sufficient in itself to award one with liberation. So people undertake great tapasyas, great yogis, great manis for many, many years, so much energy, so much. But just by understanding this truth about Krishna's appearance, that Krishna is a transcendental, Krishna's body is spiritual, and we can understand from Krishna's own words in this section of Bhagavad Gita, that itself is, and as we hear about the Krishna Leela from the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, the authorized Vedic books of knowledge, from the authorized Guru Shishya Parampara, we get the right understanding, and that is itself sufficient for the perfection of our human life. Vitaraga Bhayakroda Manmaya Mamupashitaha Bhavo Gnana Tapasa Puta Madbhavam Agata. Yes, just a summarizing about how Krishna's form is spiritual, our form is temporary. They are controlled by Maya. Krishna is controller of Maya. Okay, so then Krishna says, as all of them surrender unto me, I reward accordingly. So everybody is following the path of the Lord. Mama Vartmanu Vartrante Manushya Partha Sarvashaha. So the Krishna is the ultimate giver of results. Somebody is working hard. The result, the fruit, it is given by the Lord. He is the one who is sanctioning the result. Without the Lord's sanction, not a blade of grass moves. So whether it be a person toiling hard for material gain, or somebody trying to achieve spiritual knowledge, a gnani, or somebody trying to achieve some mystic powers, the yogi, or a bhakta trying to please the Lord. So whatever, everybody is dependent on the Lord, and the Lord is the person who rewards, and everybody is following the Lord's path. Men in this world desire success in fruitive activities, and therefore they worship the devatas. Quickly, of course, men get results from fruitive work in this world. Then coming back to devata worship, Krishna says in this section, so without full knowledge, the devatas are agents, deputed agents, authorized on behalf of the Lord to manage different cosmic departments. So you worship them, you get the particular result. That's how this system of karma kanda section of the Vedas are designed. But it is not with full understanding that behind them there is Supreme Lord who is actually the source of all the rewards what we are getting. That's why Krishna says, with having a small fruit in mind without a full understanding, people stick or rather dedicate themselves to this kind of worship. And it is so designed by the Lord that when we worship the devatas, immediately they give the result, they give the fruit. But they are assigned department, they immediately give. But many times not checking whether it's actually good for us or bad for us. But when we worship the Lord being our supreme well-wisher, He checks on whether actually it is beneficial to us. So maybe sometimes immediately the Lord may not grant the wish, because as an ultimate supreme father, He knows what is our ultimate good. So keeping that in mind, the Lord rewards us. But when we worship the devatas, that consideration is not there. They are like the immediate agents who, when we worship them, they have to give. That's why Krishna is telling here. That's how, without full understanding, this worship goes on in this world. Then very, very important verse, this verse. According to the three modes of material nature and the work ascribed to them, the four divisions of human society was created by me. And although I am the creator of the system, you should know that I am the non-doer, being unchangeable. So this is the verse where the Lord says, I am the creator of this varnashrama system. The four varnas. Anybody can say what are these four varnas and four ashramas? Any devotees can raise their hands. What is this Krishna is saying here? I am the creator of this division. Yes, Mataji, Aruna Mataji. You can unmute.
I am not sure if I'm correct or not, but maybe Brahmana, Vaishnava, Kshatriya, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishnava, Shudras.
Vaishya. You are correct.
Vaishya.
That is the social division of the society.
Okay, then.
Varna, that is called Varna. And what is the other division?
I am not sure, Prabhuji.
There is a division of ashrama. Yes, thank you, Mataji. Thank you for your answer. Vaidehi Mataji, you want to answer? You can unmute, Mataji. You can unmute,
yeah. Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa.
This is the spiritual order system, the social division, the spiritual division. So that everybody, Brahmacharya is a student life. We get trained to understand spiritual knowledge. Then we go for a household life, a responsible life, taking care of parents, taking care of wife, taking care of children, responsible for society. That is householder life, grihastha. And then after some time, after the duties are done, the next generation has taken over, go for serious spiritual life. Already that background is there, spiritual life as a brahmachari student. They understood everything about myself, about the Lord. But then we have so many duties in this world, trying to balance, that's the grihastha life. But vanaprastha, again get back to the same serious life. The previous practice a lot of austerities. Roughly it is said 100 years if somebody lives, first 25 brahmacharya, next 25 grihastha, the third 25 vanaprastha, finally goes to sannyas. That is the ashrama system, the standard Vedic ashrama system. And the varna was as Mataji said, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So what is it Krishna is telling? What is it based on? And what is the present common understanding of society? What it is? We all see in India, this is there. And Krishna is telling that I have created this system. So it is there everywhere. Not that in India, in every part of the world, this is there actually. Maybe the name is different, but this kind of a division is there. So what it is based on? What is this classified on? Yes. So today somebody says, "Oh, my father is a Brahmana, my mother is a Brahmana, so I'm also a Brahmana. My father, they are in Kshatriya, so I'm also Kshatriya." So is it like that, or what Krishna is try saying here?
Probably by the work. It depends
Yes.
on what work they do.
Yes. That is
Depending on their nature,
yes,
Prabhuji.
yes. Thank you, Mataji. Both of you are correct. One is guna, one is nature, is qualities, and another is a karma, work. So everybody has some particular kind of psychophysical nature. Everybody is not the same. So a person who is mostly we have heard about what is called gunas in previous chapter. Krishna talked about gunas controlling every one of us. Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudatma kartami. Krishna already introduced that concept. Further on in the third section of Bhagavad Gita, things are more explained in detail. So there are three gunas. So how it affects these people? Is supposed to be Brahmana is supposed to be particular one kind of particular guna, a predominant influence. Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So anybody can attempt. What is this? Anybody knows? So we have here, as in the picture we are showing, it is shown a Brahmana is teaching, is a teacher. So he's doing the work of a teacher, is teaching his student, a brahmachari or somebody is teaching. Then there is a person, a Kshatriya, is fighting the war, is fighting a Dharma Yuddha for justice, protection of society, is doing his work. And then there is a Vaishya here, is having a cow, there is a word particular role of Vaishya as a protecting the cows, then doing agriculture, doing business, they are all the works, occupations of the Vaishya. And there is a Shudra who is by nature, by not independent. He needs somebody to guide him and he works under somebody's guidance, somebody's orders. So by himself, he's not so enterprising to be independent. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya are some kind of a independent people. Brahmana not dependent on anybody. He's not dependent. He's not going to work for somebody. Oh, you have to do this much job. You have to, and then I'll pay you the salary. Otherwise, he doesn't have any compulsion. He is busy in his spiritual activities, and by the spiritual duties, what he is doing, the society maintains him, and he doesn't charge society. He doesn't say, "This is my fees. That is my fees." He will not. That is not a Brahmana. So we don't have this ideal Brahmana now, present moment. We have no teachers like that. First of all, you have to pay. This is your fees. No, Brahmana is not supposed to demand like that, command like that. He just shares the knowledge what he has. That's all. He guides the society. Yeah, I know this, so let me share it. Let me help. So that is how naturally he lives, and people happily take care of him, maintain him. Then he lives on dakshina. He lives on that is Brahmana. He's independent. His profession. Kshatriya is because he is taking part in protection of the society. Definitely, he has the right to take tax. So because he's giving protection. He's giving protection from all the criminals, from all the antisocial elements, from against the enemy. So he needs his maintenance. So he has the right to collect tax, and he will not collect tax from everybody. There is no tax for a Brahmana because he has no income. He lives on donation, Brahmana. In fact, the Kshatriya gives the donation to Brahmana. And Kshatriya, he takes the tax from the Vaishya, who is a businessman, who is having the economic development. So, who is harnessing the resources. So, his profit, he will give as tax because it is being protected. Not that now there is a protection, there are so many gundas, they are coming, they are demanding, and the government is helpless, they are not able to protect. It's not like that. Vaishya is perfectly protected with the Kshatriya, and he happily gives the tax because the king is protecting him. Is secured his job, everything. So that is the Vaishya. And then the Shudra lives on maintenance, whatever the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya gives. So he is assisting these higher classes. Everybody needs assistance. It's not that everybody is ordering, do this, do this. Who will do the work? So Shudra is by himself, may not be enterprising to do things independently, but is very loyal, very faithful. So under the guidance of a Brahmana, either or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya, he executes the work. So that's a very scientific division, scientific system of organizing the society, which was prevalent in the previous ages. But Kali Yuga, as things change, it is more so come to be like a caste system by birth. So that has destroyed the whole Vedic, what we find today. But otherwise, every part of the world, every nook and corner, there is a class of people who are intellectuals, or intelligentsia, who will guide the society. There is a class of people who are doing the role of a warrior, of an administrator. There are a class of people who are into business, who are into cow protection. Cow protection, of course, people have forgotten today. But otherwise, it's very much needed for our spiritual growth. The cow protection gives the valuable milk, and with all its wonderful vitamin, mineral value, it nourishes the brain to understand spiritual knowledge. So it's very much important, cow protection, a special animal. The Lord himself appeared as Govinda, Gopala, to stress the importance, stress its importance. So Vaishya is doing that. So that's what we see in this picture. Okay, Rohan Gupta, you had your hands raised. Something you wanted to add up at this stage?
Yes, I just wanted to state that these varnas are done by gunas, which is sattva, tamas, and
Yes. So I didn't explain that. You can tell me. You can tell us what is the Brahmana predominantly in?
sattvic. So,
Sattvic. So he's a person who is in control of his mind, is control of his senses. He's not like getting angry, getting overtaken by the circumstances, and getting addicted to so many vices. That is not a Brahmana. Brahmana cannot be cannot be influenced by these things. Correct. That's right. He's in Sattva. Yes. Then
and then for Kshatriya, Rajas is the predominant.
Predominance, but not that he doesn't have Sattva Guna. He has, but predominantly the nature is bold. He has some material desires. Like that's how the kings will have that boldness, that passionate, and then they will dominate. They have that leadership skills. That's all comes in Rajaguna, and they like to have opulence. That's why they build huge palaces, and they have so many queens. So it's all in Rajaguna, kind of Rajaguna. They have the capacity to do that. Their whole nature, whole guna fits into their work like that. And they are not whimsical. They are following dharma. They are following the principles, what as stated in the Vedas, under the guidance of the Brahmanas. They are doing that, the Kshatriyas. But predominantly there is a Rajasic nature. Yes, Rohan. There.
And then Vaishyas are balanced in all three of them.
But mostly it is said the predominance of Rajas and Tamas. They have a combination. Okay. They have this Rajas. They have this passion mode. They want to earn a lot of money. They are mad after money, you can say. Vaishya means you'll be very happy when the counting notes the whole day. Is very happy. Today I have earned 1 million. Today so I have the rotation. He's very happy with it. Just seeing that he's investing here, he's pulling out there. Oh, this way I made this much profit. That's like kind of a rasa. For Kshatriya, a kind of a rasa is he feels, oh, today I brought so many people under my control. So many people are following me now. They have joined my party. So like that is like a Kshatriya feels happy with having a backing like that. That is his pride. That is his Kshatriya as a nature, is if to have a followership. Vaishya is money. And Brahma is knowledge. Brahmana is like, oh, today I understood this. I didn't know this yesterday. So now, yes, very wonderful. I understood this the thing that, oh, I didn't have this understanding. So Brahmana is after knowledge. Kshatriya is after power. Vaishya is after money. And Shudra is another last person. Also, what is he predominantly in Rohan?
Tamas.
Not that he is also sinful or anything like that. Everybody is pious. Everybody is following the rules. But he has this tendency of little tamasic nature, little laziness. Not that he is lazy, not sleeping like that. But he works under them. He has some, definitely. Nothing he work is there. He will just go to sleep. So he's engaged. He also is working on a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. They tell him, you do this. He does it very loyally, very nicely. Mostly today, profession, we go to the office, the boss tells us, they give. So we are working mostly like a Shudra in this present day. Mostly it's Vaishya and Shudra combination, what we can say. In the present day society, there are not much, though people are taking the role of a Kshatriya and a Brahmana, because of lack of training, they are also in the Rajasic and Tamasic modes without being in Sattva. Mostly Rajasic, Tamasic, the Vaishya, Shudra kind of mentality. But they are taken up circumstantially the role of Brahmana and Kshatriya. They have to be trained to get Sattva. And Brahmana is supposed to be in Sattva, the intellectual, the guide of the whole, even the administrators, the advisors, they are supposed to be in Sattva. And administrators are supposed to be in pure Rajoguna, wherein they don't mind giving up their life for justice, for dharma. They don't mind sacrifice. They are of that nature. Thank you, Rohan. That is very nice. Brahmana is you summed up. Brahmana is predominantly Sattva. Kshatriya is a combination mixture of Rajo, Tamas. Vaishya is Tamas. and Vaishya is, sorry, Kshatriya is Rajas, Vaishya is combination, and Shudra is Tamas. It's only predominance, not that he is there in complete Tamaguna. No, they all have some sattvic nature also, Rajasic. As human being, we saw yesterday how the Kama is covering us. So human being is a very high life. So that division may be there, little qualities depending on Purva Karma, the influence of Purva Karma. But it is not a birth. It is not that father is a Brahmana, child has to necessarily become a Brahmana. No, we find that it's not like the father is a doctor, child is again a doctor. No, he has a good environment to train himself as a doctor. Not that he becomes a doctor just by birth. So similarly, a son of a Brahmana has a good chance. That's why they are called Dvija Bandhu, Brahma Bandhu. They are not called Brahmana. They are called Brahma Bandhu, Kshatra Bandhu. That's how the Vedic scriptures explain. A relative of a Brahmana, a relative of a Kshatriya. They have to get qualified to get the qualities of Brahmana, Kshatriya, to be called as a Brahmana, Kshatriya. We have it in the 18th chapter. What are the qualities of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya? We'll discuss it there.
Also, I just wanted to add one more thing. This is my understanding of this. That suppose Shudra has predominantly tamas, so these qualities can only be changed by karma. So if person wants to reduce tamas, he has to participate in karma accordingly. So that way he can reduce the quality of tamas and raise the quality of rajas.
The aim of human life for everyone is to raise, definitely, as you suggest. Not that we remain, somebody is a Shudra, he remains the whole life as a Shudra. So the central point is serving Krishna. The whole Varnashram system is designed in such a way with the purpose of pleasing Krishna. Everybody with his own skills, with his own capacity, with his own qualities takes up. Like suppose in the temple, we have a temple. Not that all of us are doing the same thing. So initially, particularly when we join, we are given a lot of this services. We have to clean the temple, all this so much physically doing things so that we get purified. It looks like this is work of a servant, work of this, and somebody else is worshipping the Lord, somebody is cooking for the Lord, somebody is preaching the message of the Lord, somebody is going for getting some donation, or different services we have. It looks like somebody is doing Brahmana work, somebody is doing Kshatriya work, nobody is higher, lower. It is all in connection with the Lord in the temple. So we don't say this is not Krishna Seva, that is Krishna Seva, that is big service to Krishna is small. No, everything is service to Krishna. So similarly, this Varnashrama is where everybody is participating with the intention of purifying their existence, intention of prayer, pleasing the Lord. And the natures, as you said, as Rohan, you rightly said, will change and we evolve to a transcendental nature. We go above the modes. Brahmana also is not a perfection. It is a predominant sattva. There is a chance the material world is like you have an infection. Suppose you have malaria, and you are taking some medicine, and sometimes you became okay. I don't have fever now. I don't have this pain, that pain. I'm okay. If you don't continue your medicine and take the whole course, there is a chance of relapse. You can go back to again one more second bout of malaria. It can happen. The diseases do come. So Brahmana is aware, is purified little, but if he is not taking care, he may slip. He may go to Tamaguna, and much more than Samaguna, the animal life. Possible. So unless we get liberated from all these three modes, the four things, and become transcendental, that is the actual position of Vaishnava. Vaishnava, pure devotee. We are not Vaishnava. We are trying to be a devotee, but actual Vaishnava means is a liberated personality above the modes. So that is the goal for everyone who is a Brahmana or a Kshatriya or a Vaishya or a Shudra. That is the goal, to become above the modes. Yes, thank you, Rohan, for your understanding. Yes, we'll continue. I think we don't have many verses now because we are just touching upon important verses. The Lord says, there is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of birth. So for Krishna, there is no, we are doing activity, karma, we are getting entangled, either punya or papa. For Krishna, there is nothing. His personality is transcendental, his activities are transcendental, his existence, everything is transcendental. So then Krishna says it is very difficult to understand karma, vikarma, akarma. So I am going to tell you, Arjuna, about this. So an example of an akarma is a non-reactive action. We are doing an activity, but there is no reaction. Just like here in this picture, we have the great personality Narad Muni. So he's a great pure devotee of the Lord. So he's continuously traveling around the universe. He's enlightening devotees. He's making people like Valmiki, Hunter, Marim Ragari, and making them to pure devotees. He's going to assembly of the Devatas. He's going to assembly of the Dhanavas. He has no somebody partial. He's not any no partial nature. Everybody is same. He's invited everywhere. He's traveling. He's preaching. He's in akarma. He has no bondage to karma personality. That is akarma. The activities of bhakti have no reaction, which is called akarma, non-reactive action. Yes, the vikarma is a sinful activity, primary sinful activities, any activity which leads us away from the Lord. So primarily it is said this Dyutam Striyam Shunam Papam Yatra Papa Chaturvida. Bhagavatam says there are 4 kinds of primary sinful activities. One is Striyam, illicit sex, illicit, not the yesterday we were discussing. Otherwise, which is as per dharma, that is allowed. Otherwise, illicit connection, that is papa. Dyutam Striyam Shunam. Shunam means meat, having for food. Yes, meat. Then Striyam Shunam and intoxication. They are the primary sinful activities. There are many others, but this is the main things. There are many other things, cheating, lying, so many things are there. Punya is any good activity, pious activity, as per the Vedic scripture. That is karma. Vikarma is prohibited action. Akarma is action which has no reaction, which ultimately it. Okay. So Rohan, just a minute, hold on, Rohan. We'll finish this. So last verse, in fact, Krishna talks about different yagna, the methods of reformation, of purification, of doing the yoga, then of doing the brahmacharya practice, of doing the study of the Vedas, of doing the yagnas. Krishna gives different methods recommended in scriptures, Vedic knowledge about how we can gain transcendental knowledge, how we can gain purification of existence. Then he says, to understand all this perfectly, and everything has a limitation to what it can achieve. So Krishna says, you approach a guru. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti tat gnanam graninas tattvadarshinaha. So what is this showing? What is this picture showing? Anybody can say. Who are these 2 personalities, and who are the teacher? Who is the teacher who is speaking here? Krishna is telling here you have to approach a guru. He will, because he's self-realized, he will impart knowledge to you. So he's stressing the importance of guru for us. Not that I research myself, I'll find out the truth. No, the spiritual knowledge cannot be obtained like that. So it is necessary to approach a spiritual master who is in a guruship parampara, who is undergone the proper practice, who has reached the stage of self-realization. So we have to approach. It is necessary. It's a necessity. Yes, Chandrasekhar Prabhuji, who are these personalities?
Pranam Prabhuji. The meaning of this sloka can be understood like this, because I have read it in many of the chapters of Indian philosophy. This sloka says that Indian knowledge or Indian science is not monologous, rather it is dialogic. That's why the idea pariprasnena, again and again questioning. Nobody has the hegemony or nobody has the power to manipulate knowledge. So we have to again and again question. And after questioning, the final conclusion or the truth will come out.
Yes. Questioning with the mood of service. So we render service to the Guru, same time we question. So that becomes a very good combination to digest this knowledge. So we did, because it's not just some academic knowledge. It's a realized practical knowledge, transcendental knowledge. So it is realized by the mood of service. It is realized by the mood of service. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. And anybody can say, what is this? Who are these personalities? Why this picture is?
Prabhuji, I think it is Krishna and Sudama with Sandipani Muni.
Yes, Krishna, you are right. It is Krishna. Not only Sudama, actually it's Balarama. Sudama was also a constant friend of Krishna. He was also in Gurukula, right? But this picture is Balarama, because Krishna and Balarama both were sent by Vasudeva after they came back from Vrindavana. Kamsa was killed. So in Vrindavana, they were sons of Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj is a Vaishya. So they were taking care of the cows. They had no education then. But now they have to become the kings They have to rule as Kshatriyas. So Vasudeva said, no, let them go to the Gurukul. So, and who is this personality? The Guru, their Guru? Vaidehi. Yes.
Sandipani Muni.
Sandipani Muni. Yes, Mataji. Yes, Sandipani Muni was the Guru. So even now the ashram is there. Ujjain, Sandipani ashram. Yes. So Krishna himself, the Supreme Lord, what is the need for him to accept a Guru? What is the need for him to do all these things? Whenever he appears, the Lord sets a perfect example. As Lord Ramachandra, he accepted Valmiki, not he accepted Vasishta and Vishwamitra Muni as Guru. Now as Krishna, he is accepting Sandipani Muni. So just to teach us that it is necessary for us also to approach a Guru and get an understanding of this spirituality. Yes, thank you. Yes, Prabhu Chandrasekhar Prabhu, you have still raised your hand. You had something to add?
No, just I was about to say it is Sandipani.
Yes.
Sandipani and Krishna and Balaram.
Yes, Krishna.
It is Krishna. Somebody said Sudama. It is Krishna because the color combination is Shyama Varna.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji. Krishna is. Yeah. They said Krishna and Sudama. Sudama was also there around. Definitely, that was when Krishna's pastimes with Sudama happens. But here, it is the Balarama.
As the color of Krishna who is sitting behind is Shyama Varna.
Yeah, this is Krishna. This is Krishna. This is Balarama. Yes. So then the result of getting the knowledge from this personality, the Guru, proper Guru, Krishna says, you will be able to see everything in me everywhere, and everything in me. So now we are not having that vision. We see everything independently, something as nice, something as not nice, something as man, something as woman, something as mountain, something as river, something as, we see differently. But Krishna is telling, we will see this, but we will see how the Lord is present in everything, in as Paramatma. And all these things are present as energy of Krishna, the Supreme Bhagavan. So that is the result of obtaining the knowledge from a Guru. That is also explained in the next subsequent verses 35, 36. And when Krishna says the effect of this result of this transcendental knowledge, all our sinful reactions are finished. So sinful reactions are the papa are compared to some ignorance. And ignorance, when the light, the knowledge is there, all the ignorance will be destroyed. And or just like when a fire is there, whatever anything, it gets destroyed by the fire. Fire will burn the thing. So similarly, Krishna says, this transcendental knowledge, this proper understanding, we situate ourselves in our position as spirit soul, the position of the Supreme Lord as a Supreme Ishvara, and our relative duty as a servant of the Lord in devotion. This transcendental knowledge will burn up all our unlimited sins. Person may be considered a big sinner previous time, but with this awakening of this real knowledge, not just theoretically, but realization when it comes, this awakening, then Krishna says, finished. All the tons of papas of many lifetimes finished. It's just finished with him. Yes. And then Krishna says at the end of this chapter, armed with this knowledge, armed with yoga, Krishna, Arjuna, fight. Because Krishna is now saying, Krishna, Arjuna, you have to fight, you have to do your duty as a Kshatriya, you have to fight. With this knowledge, this is transcendental knowledge, you fight. So next Arjuna again wants to clarify. You are telling to me to fight, but transcendental knowledge means awakening to spiritual life. And what is this again? Doing this material duties. So again, this continues karma yoga action. The karma yoga, karma sannyasa discussion will go on. That we'll see tomorrow. So thank you everybody for joining. Aruna Mataji, you have your hands raised.